Welcome, guys. Sunday. Would like to say bloody Sunday, but is it not yet, unfortunately. Quite okay price action on the weekend. Not much change yet. And I'm thinking we're gonna go a little bit more lower. What we're gonna aim right now. So far, it's just a grinding sideways, a little more upwards price action, like we all know how the weekend works. Majorly low time frame start to change a little bit more structure, but a mid time frame and a high time frame didn't even reach the resistance area of the 92 k. What we are aiming to flip. That's going to be the first time for any strength on for Bitcoin. If not, I would like to see as well a failure of 88.6. That's going to be the first resistance. What we're going to do the underside retest, like we most of the times been doing on the way down constantly. So don't get all of your hopes ready yet, because we are not done with this move. Still, we're not gonna break anything higher up. So far, we're creating TPO below us, so that's the point of control volume, where we bounce from. And look at that, 91.2. That's the resistance area. That's your biggest volume control point so far. Bouncing from that, rejecting that. That's kind of obvious. How low we're gonna go? We're gonna see that in a I have some things to mention. I've been already mentioning as well quite for a long time. So before we're gonna go over something else. I'm seriously not really liking this kind of price action. Even if it's weekend, it's a low volume one. So that's always it's a bad sign for me. There is a low volume one. So they most of the times they like to run the lows or the stops on those ones, or even continuation. So when I see that in a second. Just to let you know how that plays out. So yeah, let's start with our lovely VIX. As always, I've been mentioning as well, there's been an upwards price action on that one. The price action, it's a calculate movement on the volatility. We still aiming to go higher till we're not gonna break below the 19 or 16. 19 is the first case that you want to break. That's the low that we bounce quite heavily from. You break that, you're aiming to get back at 16. That's gonna send the price a little bit more higher up. I'm not saying I'm gonna do the all-time high. That's the first sign we might change the direction of the move. I'm not even thinking that we are doing the it's the bottom on the lower right now. Not yet. There's much more that I'm gonna talk about in a second. But overall, the volatility is still spiking higher. Now we said we need to check how the Monday is going to be open up in the morning, how that's going to be looking. But so far, this is still uptrending, and we, as I don't like to say, we starting to break the trend line on that one. So flipping that, holding above 22, aiming again for 28. That's mean that's been already tested, and technically it's been flipped over here. We didn't hold it quite, so we might aim for 32. That said, it's going to be another low on Bitcoin or market overall. So volatility is still continuing to go higher. Only what I want to see, it's going to come back below 19. That's the first sign we might turn around or pull off for it. Now, next one, Dixie. That's been moving quite perfectly lately, and we are already starting to regain the $100 area. That's the little bit more dangerous area for the market. If we start to flip that, hold that, and aim for 101, that means we're still gonna humble a little bit low. So be aware of that. Break. What do we need to break right now on it? Easy as it gets. That's the 99.2. Break that low. That means we're gonna go quite lower, because the previous high of the 98.9 been already tested quite heavily. So the next low, what we might settle, is gonna be around 98.6, or even come back to 98.2. So that's the lows that you aim to get turn around on the Dixie. That said as well, we might flip on the market. So far, this is still freaking continuation. Not much to say about it. And like I've been mentioning, the $100 area, it's quite dangerous. If you start to flip that, you start to aim quite heavily on 101, because quite and the rest on the left side been already tested, and there is not much anymore to hold on that. That's the biggest outlier for the market where we're going. Dixie is quite a leader in that one. So that means all of the money is going to be in the dollar positions, and that's going to be pushed quite heavily if so we're going to continue going lower. And we still can. Nothing, not much to say that we can, or we need to turn around. We don't. The market doesn't really needs to do what we want. Does what it wants to do. If you're going to go lower, that's fine. Going to be much more panic? Definitely. So yeah, that's on the Dixie. And the biggest one outlier that I've been mentioning as well for weeks, we still overall on total tree continues going lower. I've been mentioning that last week as well, breaking 907. Straight, we're gonna teleport to 800-ish area. And obviously it did play out quite well. We still didn't break out from it. This is still continuation to the downside. Yes, we can quite heavily and quickly change that, but that's gonna be only when we start to get close to 913 or 988. So that's still quite a lot of work to do if you aim to do 20% in quite quickly of a game. Not really seeing it right now. So far, this is still continuation. Next move, if we start to lose the low right now on the body, that means the 837. We're gonna aim for 774-ish area. That's the low of that wick. We're gonna fill up the wick. Might be as well the area of turning around. If so not, then the lowest low that you don't want to lose is the 697-ish. If you're gonna reach that, potentially that's gonna be a quite bigger bounce from that level. So yeah, that's the level as well that we've been there in April this year. Quite a round bounding. Moving on, packs still continuing to going lower. We didn't flip the mid swing on the daily, so that one is still aiming to get a little bit lower. I'm thinking we might see potential bounce around the 3.9 988 area. If so not, we're gonna run the lows on that one. Not really seeing we're gonna fill all of those 2 wicks on packs. Sideways, it might go a little bit more better for it. Hold that price action before we're gonna flip and turn around for the new all-time high on that one. Just mentioning, Netflix still continuing after the trying to regain mid range what we create over here. We failed quite heavily, and right now we are going to $100 if we start to continue falling. It's not much is gonna hold us till we're gonna reach the 100 or 99. So that's my next TP area on that one, structure wise. I'm still having only 30% of that one because I get out of the position quite heavily on here, took some profit, and the rest is just running like it. I don't care about that one. About it. There is a small gap right now what we are doing on CME. So right now we are 86.8 area. So this is the gap what we're having right now. Let's see if that's gonna be holding. So that's gonna be a new gap for potentially filling up. If we start to turn around, if not, we might fill that back, and it's not gonna be a gap as well. It was last week, 2 weeks ago. It was a small one. After that, we didn't have one. So as long as we create a gap to the downside, that's better. I'm not really aiming to have a gap above us, but that's gonna be quite troubling most of the times. So that's fine. And then the next outlier is the dominance. We broke the lows on 58. That means mid time frame of this whole range. We broke that one. We still potentially can run the highs on it, but that's still going to be troubling for Bitcoin if we aim to do one of those things. Like, yes, Bitcoin can go a little bit more higher, grinding upwards with it. Alt's still going to decrease, but then if Bitcoin decides to dump, then you know what it is on alts. No matter what, we still can go lower. Nothing says we don't need. So far, down it is. Still, we're gonna from price action otherwise. Let's see if we're gonna regain this flip over here. What we did, the 59.5. That's kind of my aim. We might potentially see something like that, or doing even one more higher up for the bigger resistance over here. Let's see how that's gonna be behaving from the next week. Because, and moving on, we could go a little bit more higher even, just because of the oscillator, how it looks like. I'm not really key on looking at the oscillator on dominance, but still, if it works, it works. A little bit more higher up means we might have potential some more bigger numbers coming in. This is kind of end of the year, so there's shitloads of things coming in into the market economic wise. Not really like aiming for like trading that shit, but still be aware that that's gonna be volatile, especially next week, 26. Yeah, that's gonna be end. So that's Wednesday. 26 gonna be quite volatile as well. Be aware of that one. It can go both ways. So far, bulls are taking over a little bit, but that's what I said. It's low volume area. Not really special keen on that price action to hold or even bounce quite higher on that one. We might run the lows. That means we're gonna get into the 150 axis or even lower on this position and then start to grind again and again. So technically, we might continue doing what we did. Gonna go a little bit more in deep on the levels later on, but so far this is on the oscillators. We start to get oversold as well quite heavily, so be aware of that. And capital flow index squeezing again. This we've been doing like for 4 or 5 times already in a row, and all of those squeezes not really been good for Bitcoin. So let's see how we're gonna flip that for the next week. But so far, we seriously need to hold on above the neutral line on the capital flow index, continues grinding up, then we might even break something above it. Yes, there is a shitload of liquidity, but then not really keen on that to take it in one go because there is a lot of resistance, I guess, against that as well. So don't think we're gonna do that straight in one go. That's gonna be quite a work to uh, get through all of that stuff. Next thing that I want to mention as well, all of my capital flow has been squeezing the heck out of it, and we've been seriously going lower and lower and consistently, like not even breaking nothing major yet. Even on a total tree, ETH, Bitcoins, and every single asset that I'm having is going into the squeeze of the below the neutral line. Yes, we can potentially pop that, but I'm not seeing it yet. Let me switch on back the rest of the market to show most of it. So yeah, VIX is still above neutral line quite heavily. Dixie is starting to get above the 68%, so still potentially to go higher. And SPX dropped a little bit lower, so if that starts to turn around, we still gonna be a little bit more in continuation. And the rest of the market is still down, right? And we still can go lower. We've been even lower. Like if you zoom out, we've been seriously lower even in 97 area or 85ish area. So what we are doing right now, it's still major, but nothing to compare what we used to do. So be aware of that. On top of that, long and short ratio, I'm not gonna show it. I'm just gonna mention we still are 70% into the longs. So flipping that, we seriously need to have some, I don't want to say sketchy price action, but some running the lows and holding everyone off guard to make them short the shit out of it into the price action. That means to flip the retail, we need to do technically what I'm thinking we might even do. Let me switch this off, make it a little bit more visible. This price action, something like this over here. We might set up the low and run the lows quite heavily to make retail short in this area. That's what's been happening over here as well. We've been quite heavily on the long side, and then they start short, and we blast through it without even coming back for the retest of the low, right? So this price action what we're having over here, we might see over here. So potentially what we're doing right now, high, low, and then something like that, right? Technically the V bottom area, not on the time frame like showing over here, just because I'm on the high time frame, show the perspective that I'm looking at it, right? We could even do quite quickly something like this, and then that's gonna be the deal that I'm aiming for. gonna be a little bit more sketchy price action, if you can say that, but it's what it is. We've been doing it quite heavily, even in all of that area over here. Same thing. We run the highs over here. We came back into the low, and then we didn't even come close to it. We start to blast through. That means retail start to short the shit out of it, and then you know what that's gonna bring. So far on the highest time frame, I want to mention, and please remember that anytime we're gonna come back for this low again, imagine we're gonna be somewhere in 125, no matter what. You need to remember that the monthly level been already tested. Coming back into that level or this price action over here will never hold us anymore. We're gonna go straight into the 60 or 59 area. So higher time frame, the full higher time structure already been tested to the downside. Right now, the only thing that's hold us is 59. Losing that, you're going back into the 30K. That's the bear market stuff. Right? Please remember that, because that's quite important, what people really overlook and don't even remember that. Because that's the most highest time frame that we hold us right now. Going back or even opening a new monthly, we could slide lower easily, because that's been already tested. No matter if we're gonna close above it, we still have pressure to the downside. Why? There it is. Hope that's a little bit clear on that side perspective. Weekly wise, same thing. The high of the weekly been already tested. The only thing that's still holding us a little bit is the low on 78. That still can be easily tested with the wick through it, going back and do something like this. That's easily done, because we are still quite close to that one. Opening a new weekly, we can run the highs and lows. Sorry, we can run the lows and then coming back for any potential resistance that we create, or it's gonna be even the 100K that I'm aiming for, and maybe if we stretch, we're gonna reach 108 on the side read. Not really aiming for much higher yet. That's gonna that really can change quite quick. So far, this is what I'm aiming. So remember that this is the last low that's holding us, 78.3. Using that, not much to say about all of that stuff over here. Not really key on holding that. I will aim for the lows easily. But yeah, that's quite heavily. Potentially, we can go lower to this area, 70K. Why? That's why. Because to the downside, as I mentioned as well, with this price action, that looks quite healthy, but it's low volume one, we can run the lows. If you're gonna do that, we might slide even lower. And look, with all of those bits ends is the 70K, right? Yes, we have one that's been just added to it. It's 64. Not really aiming for that. We could, but I'm not really aiming for that. All of that stuff over here can be easily taken out. 70K. What's gonna happen then? You're gonna set on your lower low, right? So overall, what we're gonna do, changing the whole up movement what we did into the lower low, maybe a higher retest, and then that's your aim for, right? That's technically potential what we can do. So far, we are not there yet. But let's see how the week's gonna open up. We still can slide lower. We've been doing that over here. Same price action technically. If we start to go a little bit more higher up, we don't need to close the weekly bullishly. If you want to go like that, we still can fill up the whole week, come back, run the lows like we have been doing, and then aim for go higher up. But then potentially, we've been holding that whole structure above this price action, but we technically quite perfectly tested the high of that swing. So right now, we're not going to do it. We're going to break that structure, and that's changed the whole perspective where we might go. Because that's going to be the first lower low on the highest time frame we ever settled from the bear market. Be aware of that. That's really, really important. And people overlook that stuff. Because I know that not a lot of people is looking at the high time frame, because they always think, yeah, that's going to take weeks. Yes, it does take weeks. but it's one of the most important ones holding you whole price action right now. Let me just tip. So yeah, daily wise, yeah, first bullish candle, not really much saying till we're not gonna break above 93. That can be easily done because daily 93 been quite tested as well this week. So we can slide higher up and then we start to do some damage to 95.6. That said, we start to change the structure daily wise, right? That's the start. The major one is at 105. That's the biggest swing failure that we had on the daily. This is just a mid time frame. By potentially closing above that, and have some potential damage to the upside or hold that whole swing that we are doing right now. Overall, 4 hour. That's the juiciest one that we're having right now because we are still in the continuation of the trend, right? Technically, we had this price action over here. We could potentially do exact the same thing. So keep in mind, if you're going to hold a low right now, aim for the high again on this structure. So potentially going to do something like this, run it higher up and fail on the bigger stuff. Then you're going to run the lows, right? If that's going to happen, because it can still, because this is still resistance. Why? Because that's the swing that brought you lower. That means this is the stuff what you are looking right now at. Where's my swing? Wrong one. That's the one. This is the 4 hour that brought you all the way to the low, and that we created 82. That's the low that we broke. Higher low, not really aiming that we might get resistance on that one. We could, not really aiming. Now I'm more aiming for the high around the 91k. That's the resistance that you aim to get bounce or any reaction from it. We got quite heavily through the weekly high. This is not really important level anymore. The one that we got, no, we closed below, so that's the 82.5. That's the monthly high that I've been talking about. Sorry, monthly low. So that was high. That's the monthly low. That's what we closed below. Wick into that. We test that whole structure below us, so that's not any more valid. Next one, as I was mentioning, 78-ish area. That's the weekly low that you don't want to lose. That daily low, I'm not really thinking about, even though it's going to hold us. And then you have the wick low. And all of that stuff in the green, that's those are the bits stuck to the downside. Quite heavily as well, stuck to the downside. So potentially that's as well a magnet to go lower, right? So first thing first, local price action, losing your 85.7 price, you might go into the 84. You could hold on that one, right? Potentially you could go here and grind a little bit more higher up. That's still up trending, coming into the low. That's as well potentially a bounce just because low time frame broke the structure, and that's as well flip, I guess. Gonna be on our, yeah, it is. So yeah, that's the fib that you are aiming for, and I guess Stu is gonna aim for that one as well. And that's the whole price that you're aiming right now. This is your resistance, the whole 4-hour swing that you failed from and brought you quite low right now. So you need to watch out for that one. If you're gonna start to regain 93 or 92.35-ish area, all of that stuff over here, that starts to be a potential higher high on the 4-hour. That's the first one since we've been going back from 107 area, still potentially settling maybe a lower high, and then grinding it higher up. Right? That's going to be your change of the whole character that we built and break out of this whole trend. That's what you aim for. Let's see how that's going to be bringing us into the next week. So far, like I always say, I seriously not really like this kind of price action because you know what that's going to be ending in. Come over here and even maybe lower if we start to lose that stuff. That's not going to be even potentially support. That's the whole area that I'm aiming. So yeah, that's a little bit more on the bitty side, on the levels. And there is liquidity. We are right now into the core liquidity. So flipping that, we might even go a little bit more higher up, getting into the 10x, and then we start potentially maybe changing the direction of the core liquidity, right? So doing something like that. That's still possible. Not yet something to, and I'm looking at right now, because getting into that still potentially could be a failure. If not, we need to hold on that core trend. But yeah, we've been there as well, and we failed quite heavily from it. So be aware that we might do exact the same right now. Yes, it's nice to have some move to the upside, some price action differently than going to the downside. But are we changing anything significant? You need to ask you that question. Maybe much more often. So far, not yet. We could if we're gonna start to break the. Believe me, there's a lot of resistance above us. That's 1 hour and 4 hour and close to. Oh, okay, and the core trend on that one is on 88.5. So potentially we could bounce from side retest this area over here. Side retest, exactly that. That might be your first failure. If so, still continuation. Not much to say about. More on ALGO master. Guess that's gonna be a lot of still nice pocket. Not really overlapping, but over here as well. Resistance. We mentioned this area. Right, getting into that, potentially push a little bit lower or sideways. Not really looking for something to change yet, especially not with the next week. So let's see. I would like to be surprised about that, but I don't know. I don't have a faith still in the price section that we might even reach the 120-ish area. Not yet. I don't think we did the big damage. Like people been talking about it that yeah, we grabbed most of the liquidity or whatever. But guys, what did we do? Like if this is a range, right? This is a range. This is the range. Right? The whole move so far from this and this has been just going back into the low of the range. We broke out of the range and getting back into the previous one. If people saying that this is the painfulest move ever, that's just 20% from the range that we failed from. If that's the most painful move, then there is something wrong with positioning of people, I guess, in the market, because it isn't. That's going to be most painful move. Going to be when we're going to do from that 20% minus 50. That's going to be painful. So far, it isn't at all. We are still into the whole high time frame range. So that's this whole area. Losing the 75, potentially we can say like, yeah, that could be a little bit more painful if you're not positioning right. If you care about your spot backs only, you don't trade against that. Yeah, it is what it is. Everyone having his own mind of trading and doing the whole stuff with the spot backs or not, or trading against it. If so not, then you're holding only spot backs to hold on it. Nothing else that's gonna change about it. And as well, you can see how quite weak you're starting to get when the 1 hour start to get quite heavily overheated. Next time we're gonna have the first cash flow reversal. That's gonna be quite heavily pushed to the downside. Remember that. Well, and the 4 hours start to get close to the neutral line. Since the dump of 106, we never even get above neutral line. So be aware of that as well. Market likes to repeat itself quite heavily and often. So potentially that's the whole idea that I'm looking at. Flipping, let's say, let's make it a little bit more stretch. 93.2, that's my first aim for a new high. And still, I'm going to be cautious about that as well, because there is a lot of things to do structure-wise. But yeah, technically that's all on Bitty. Hype as well still continues going lower, failing stuff, and I'm starting to get a little bit more moving away from it. Not really key to trade right now. First thing first, we've been failing the whole low of this range that we create from the 30 to 59-ish area, this whole up movement range. We get into the low of that one. We broke technically below weekly. Yeah, we did. Fucking hell. So that weekly close is going to be quite heavily for hype. If we're going to be in a continuation of hype, I'm aiming we're going to go back into the 18-20-ish area, filling the whole week. I hear that there is some movement on price and volume because they start up to do some with stocks and all that shit. But if so, that's a little bit more sad on the side of the hype. If they are really like that, putting all of the strength to keep up the stocks more intact and in place, and that's costly on the high price, then that's a little bit more deadly for me to hear. So they don't even care about that, because over here they've been holding the price quite steadily and with really a lot of money. And since the high that we create, it's been only going quite heavily to the downside. I have a feeling, and I've been talking about that as well, like already from this price section over here. I'm going to be going to the daily. Yeah, from this price section, I've been saying as well, which means that I have a feeling that they changed market maker on it, because the price that we're doing to the downside, it's a little bit odd and not really like, I don't know, I don't feel trading it as well that often. So yeah, they might switch things up, but they didn't mention it or something. I don't care, but still, that's just my feeling about it. If you're gonna go lower, then yeah, we might even get back into the 25-ish area, 20 maybe, as lower as it gets, because so far we're quite heavily breaking the downside. And guys don't think that's not possible, then flip the chart and see where starts your first support on the lows that we create back in March. But yeah, that's my whole opinion about it. Yes, I'm buying spot, not really trading leverage yet. Spur as well, breaking stuff to the downside quite heavy, and I guess that's as well the deal with it. When hype is going lower, and that's gonna go lower as well. And right now, closing anything below 0.06, you close below the lowest weekly close. Technically, you start to break the whole freaking structure on that whole move. Yeah, be aware of that. Still buying some bits on the spot, but not really key on leverage trading it. And AVAX, not really doing much, still grinding to the downside. We still have quite a lot of resistance. Not only this on the side retest, but on the daily, it's already this one as well. That's quite heavily pushed to the downside. The price action, that one been quite clean. Same on Injective. That one was really perfect. Those shorts played quite nicely. Time take, and we lost the low twice already. So still, we might even go lower. And that's even on the most alts, right? If you think that we cannot go lower, definitely we can. Believe me on that. If yeah, we lost 2.9. We almost got to my level. Fucker, contra on it. Yep. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not really trading ETH, but it's still don't want to lose that. 2.54. That's the high that you don't want to lose. You don't want to get back into a 2.2 area, because that's quite iffy as well. I'm not sure if that support even gonna hold you again, because then you have the fair value gap and you start to get in fucking 1.8k. And everything have exact the same structure as well. Quite perfect, grinding to the downside. Nothing, this is not even like dumping or something, it's just grinding to the downside. Same thing if you turn around, like, right? It's clean price action. On swing points is from the high to the low and bounce from the high. Not even coming close to the lows. Yeah, quite clean. Especially on Solana. I kind of like it. You're digging it on that one. So let's see if we're gonna get back into the lows of 112 dollars. So far, if you not holding on 131, this is the underside retest of the whole swing failure. You might come back in 120 or even 130 area. But yeah, overall, this is the whole price action that every single coin does. Like, there's a rarely a coin that already broke the structure to the upside on 4 hour. Rarely. I see. Nope. Goes. Retest. Okay. So yeah, still we are pushed a little bit lower. That grind doesn't settle nothing yet. So we're gonna hold on the, oh, I guess this one. Biggest fucking shitcoin ever so far. Broke the structure on 4 hour. But overall, I think I can pull that line a little bit more lower even, because that's not gonna stop. Yeah, on 4 hour you broke the structure, but on a daily you fucking failed that. Underside retest, perfect. Bang on. There it is. Losing the low on that wick. Where do you get? 0.3. Such a shitty price action. And I guess who's gonna be happy about it as well? There you have it. So yeah, nothing else. It's really potentially even breaking it yet. Maybe with VLFF. And then still you fucking broke all of that. Came back, resistance. Ugh. Here we go again. And yeah. Oh, Aster, that one was as well. Didn't even reach my distance. But that one on daily. Yeah, fuck it. I'm close to it. Don't want to lose 106. That one. Now that's the support that you want to hold right now on the daily. Want to lose that. If you lose that, every single thing to the left been tested, and the only thing was left is 0.9. Daily swing failure. So yeah, still potential to work into it. Because that one's going ballistic. Like always, privacy coins. Ecash 10%. Do. Much. That retesting. That one have really, really weird price action. It's still good, but it's freaking weird. But anyhow, looking back. So yeah, overall, we still didn't reach even the area that we need to fail from. If we start failing right now, then of course that's the weakness that's still into it. As I've been mentioning, that's the low volume area as well. Quite low from the week that we did already. All of that movement, the downside, been quite heavier built than fucking bulls that start to pick up on the price. Could be interesting week, that's for sure. But overall, still down. Not really keen on jumping on any leverage or fucking FOMOing in something. I'd rather wait. for the confirmations, and then start to build up some. Keep it easy and simple, guys. Like, what's the point of catching the knife? To hurt yourself? To complain about it? To go against you? Let's see. Really seeing it so far. But yeah, this is what it is. And I'm not sure if Stu mentioned it already, but yeah, there it is. This is your pocket of resistance that you're aiming for. Inside retest. If that's going to be the case, we're going to do exact the same thing what we did all here and here. Price. And then all of that bullshit up here. But yeah. Oh yeah. This was the best one. So there it is. Like, if you think that this price action looks quite good, it did for a second. And the only thing what you did with this whole fucking hold on the 4-hour, hold of the support, not regained, hold the support, all the way into what? Side retest. All of that price action, just get back into the underside retest, not even aiming for the highs. Not gonna be surprised. We're gonna do exact the same thing at all. And it's not that I'm bearish. It's just this whole price action is still aiming to go lower. And with all of the bids that's been quite heavily stacked to 70K, we still potentially can do another leg down. And potentially, how that's gonna look like, right? If you're gonna do that. So we could have that. Something like this. Get into it. Make every single fucking reader short the shit out of this. What you're gonna have. B bottom. Perfect. How do you flip the long and short? Like that. You're not gonna believe me. If you start to doing like this, the most perfect price action, right? Let's say we're gonna do that. And oh boy, the bull's gonna do some best work ever. Do you think that the long and short ratio is gonna flip in this position? Just what we're gonna do after that. Continue. Get into that. Hang on. That's gonna be painful. Believe me, that's a lot of people's gonna be crying. They're gonna get stopped out. It's gonna happen. Oh, and we did this price action, by the way. Some of you maybe remember this. Right? That's similar on the side retest. Quite perfect. Seriously, not be surprised if you're gonna. Oh boy. Gonna record all of the X pages, all the crying and complaining. Oh yeah. All my side so far. Think about it if I mention everything that I wanted to mention. Yeah, the most important things, guys. Tomorrow, when the market's gonna open up, VIX. Positioning on VIX gonna be first sign how heavily on the volatility we are. On top of that, aim for Dixie. If we start to flip the $100, then that's gonna be quite heavily going to the upside to regain or even start to flip the 101 area. That's dangerous always for the market if that's happened. Why? Because we are doing actually exact the same price action what we've been doing. That flip here, what we're having this, right? And that grind, boy, oh boy, that's bear market shit. But just mentioning, I don't want to say it's gonna happen, mentioning that that's kind of playing out so far, right? We are grinding it higher up. And already we've been flipping this whole range, holding on that one. Technically, this is as well a level to aim for. That's going to be on a weekly, but not really keen and aiming for that one. Why? Because the monthly is already above its prior monthly high. So that's as well quite dangerous, right? If Dixie starts to regain on the monthly previous highs, boy, watch yourself. Look at the oscillator. What's happened last time we had this? That's literally before the bear market started. March, April 2021. Look what we did. You're saying, right? This could do exact the same thing. Why? Because overall, monthly wise, this is still uptrending. Hope people realize what's going on over here. Yes, it's monthly, but still. I'm taking into consideration. That's why I'm not looking at that weekly and only the daily and the monthly. This one, not really paying attention to that one. So yeah, that's going to be important. And of course, on top of that, you're going to see total tree going lower into the 77-ish area or 69. That's going to be quite heavily to the downside, but still possible. You need to flip your 909, even think to go higher up. Be aware of that. And then, yeah, your freaking dominance as well. This as well, like, not even we went lower on dominance, but should freaking do this, right? What we technically aim for, we got this. That. So now, no matter what we're gonna do when the dominance gonna go up, alt's not really gonna be happy. Bitcoin, maybe. So prepare yourself. You're saying. Let me have a look in it. Oh boy, a lot of people dropped down. I don't think they like my bearish positioning. Oh, they scared. Hello, hello. Yeah, I still have some part of the pudding left, but I can't. I can't anymore. I'm almost gonna fall asleep. Gonna have like food coma. Jesus, was a little bit too much. mm. Oh, didn't even realize that. I always forget that we have that bullshit bot. So I guess this is as well counter trade on top of everything what I just said. So not really aiming that that's gonna be the holding trade for the whole fucking next push for the all-time high. After all of those failures, because that one was the winning, that was a failure, that was the winning, failure, winning. That might be the failure as well. And look at the oscillators as well on top of the normal TA. Like I've been saying, the first reversal on cash flow, that red cross, look at that. Last time we had it. Guys, simple, go back on history. Last time we had the reversal cash flow after the push. So there we have it. Easy. Because what that's gonna mean? We're taking profit. Mm, mm, okay. Might be it. Oh yeah. Any questions so far? People who jumped in later. Oh, and what to mention as well. Don't forget your weekly leaderboard. Fill up after 2-day daily open. Monthly is still going. That's gonna be going for a week. Yeah, another week. But the weekly is gonna be up today. Remember that. Pick your coins. Pick your winners. Seriously, still, it's a shame that we don't have the same leaderboard for shorts. Only up on top of that. Mentioning long and short still 70. Fucking assholes of the top traders, so known. They're still in the long. Yeah. Like I've been saying as well, this is the area that you're gonna start to flip. Breaking 73k. Every single thing what's gonna be happening below that is gonna flip. Really gonna short the shit out of it when you're gonna set a new lower low on a higher time frame. That's gonna be your flipping point. Because again, history. Right? We've been flipping over here quite heavily. Where did we flip? Setting new low. After that low, there. Setting new low, there. So all about history. Stupid question. There is so first thing first, there are no stupid questions. How does it work? What do you mean? How does it work? Like, what do you need to do, or how does it get the numbers from? So when you're gonna be over here on the leaderboard, right? Today, that's if you go on your charts on the daily, that's the easiest one to remember. In literally 6 hours, you're gonna have a new daily open. That means that's the new weekly and new day. That's Monday. That's gonna be open. This resets. This is only for a week. This is gonna be resetting. If that's happened over here, you're not gonna see anything. Then you go to select your altcoins, right over here, and then this gonna open up. Oh, it says over here as well. In 6 hours, it's gonna be opening up. So I cannot let you see right now because I can't. I'm gonna see that in 6 hours. You're gonna have like a search bar. You type in the token that you think is gonna perform good next week or through the next week. You can have multiples even. You can have like 5 or 6. I don't know what's the max of it even, what you can have. You just choose your token and let's hope they're going to be winning tokens. Like, for example, those 3 guys over here, Stu, Primo, and Little Chunk, choose, right? He choose the troll token. That token did 14% last week. So he's on the second place. Primo choose those 3 tokens, and both of them combined did 14.5, a little bit more above than he is, right? And Stu choose Troll and Aster. Both of them did 13.4%. So those are the winning tokens. And if you are going to be on the first place, you receive from MDX company, you receive $50 into your dashboard profile. And second one, 20, and the third one, $5. But you can withdraw. You can ask for the withdrawal and it's gonna send it to you. This is just free money if you're gonna win, right? Same thing, exact the same principle on the monthly, but this takes for months, right? This takes 1 month, so it's gonna be like really long term. And over here, the price are $100 for the first place, second 50, and the third 25. And that's what you do every single week, every single month. And already you can see here the leaderboard, like who got the most leader points. So that means that the most winning positions. And of course, Happy Cats, he has really his own strategy about it. I didn't even look at it. How to pick them, where to look for them. and how to use them right in the leaderboard. And most of the times he got it right, and he is right leader of the whole leaderboard overall. But like this is just fun things to do, like see what kind of tokens are winning, which not. And yeah, some of them maybe gonna do negative, especially in the downtrend. It's hard to find those tokens because kind of everything is going in the same direction, but still overall you can do some percentage if you add some tokens, multiple tokens, and they're gonna do together some numbers, right? And most of the times those numbers coming in on Sunday, because Sunday is a little bit more the, let's say, kind of quote unquote push day for the market, because everyone is coming back from the weekend and starting to market smash everything, whatever, and pushing the tokens. And yeah, they're getting bigger into the end of the week. So somehow, and so sometimes you have like really negative numbers. Yeah, tokens go up and down, and this is only up only, so longs only, right? It's not considering short. Yeah, you need to consider like if you choose a token, which token is gonna perform, right? So that means going, for example, higher. So you're gonna go through your list, or I don't know, CMC. There is some strategies behind it. Like I'm just random choosing some tokens or my favorite ones that I'm trading or whatever, and I'm not really considering this as something to make money. It's just for fun. And if you win, that's just extra, right? So I don't know. For example, you're gonna go and say injective my push higher up for next week. Technically, it could, right? It could do some damage to the upside and do maybe the 80%, right? That's possible. But still, if that's gonna be for through next first 3 days, and after it's gonna do the dump, then that's not the winning anymore. You never know what that's gonna be. It's just kind of like a guessing game, but there is some strategy behind it. Like I didn't even deep dive into the strategy of Happy Cat. He had some things about it. He was watching the coins, I guess, on CMC and different websites, doing some spreadsheets on them, and like that, he found the tokens that might perform well. But for fun, you use a token that you like and see how they're gonna do next week, and who knows, you might win. Right? It's fun. It's just like a game. And free money technically, because you literally get that money from MDX. Oh yeah, and Twitter engagement. That was his thing as well. Like if something gets like really, really a lot of hype, then yeah, it's gonna be bought up quite quickly. So it might go and do some potential nice percentage moves, right? And that's how he went doing it as well, I guess. This is just for fun for most of the people. But if you really want to make money from it, weekly and monthly, then yeah, like that. Like for example, if you're gonna have mm, same strategy or something like similar to Happy Cats, and you're gonna really, really start to win a lot, that means in a week time you earn 50 bucks times four. That's 200 bucks. You pay off already your subscription, and you have some money left, right? If you play it right, then that's how you make money, and that's how you can even pay off the subscription if you want. And then on top of that, you have the monthly as well. That's 100 bucks more if you have the first place, right? So there's quite a lot of money if you think about it to make for free just by picking a token, right? So yeah, it is interesting and quite fun as well sometimes. And get used to it. Mm, then the bot master is start to coming close as well, guys. So be aware of that. Quite good stuff. When the bot master starts, no one of you gonna jump on the sessions anymore. You're all gonna use the automation bots. No one gonna even care about the normal TA price action. There is no information about that yet, Mark. If that's gonna be the case, you all will hear about it as soon as possible, and maybe from the next week, Mac's gonna say something about it. I'm not the person to talk about it, so I'm leaving that for Max. That's his part. Free time to watch. And that could be as well, yeah. That could be as well. I'm not sure about that, but that could be as the way. Yeah, yeah. Um, you gonna have quite a lot of work then, my friend. People start to get in on the automation. Gonna be busy. Holy, holy. Yeah, I think that's bang bang. That could be quite a move for 70%. Price. Hang on. Back into price. Interesting. That's one. Volume profile as well. It's the highest volume. Look at that. Like, if people don't believe me, like this whole year I've been fucking low volume traded. Look at that. March was the highest volume we did. Sorry, February. Fucking hell. Oh, of. But yeah, there's no questions anymore, guys. I think everything is clear. Everyone understand everything. Happy days, I guess. Right? Yorka. Have a good. Didn't eat so much before killing me. So no questions. Okay. Happy days. But yeah, anyhow, watch the price action before Sunday close. Getting now quite close to the resistance. On the side retest of 88.8 and then regain in the previous 4-hour swing. That's going to be the first sign of some strength. It's not done yet. This is just the up movement. Now we need to settle some support as well. If so, we're going to run the lows again. Next stop, 78, 5-ish area. Not really bother with 76 and 74. 4 is the low of the wick. Then all of the bits, the leftovers are stacking into the 70k. Not really keen. Maybe we're gonna do something like this, like that whole shenanigans move. Try to look like a dick move, but anyhow. V bottom, that might be the flip of the long and short. And we start to turn around. If not, that's the continuation. Still not much to change that yet. So yeah, be aware of that. Happy weekend, and hopefully weekly open is gonna be fine for all of you. Start to position yourself as well in the right direction. There is no need even to trying to catch the knife. And believe me, guys, if you think that that's the most important in trading, then I can wake you up and say that that's not. No one fucking cares if you get the bottom or the top of the trade. No one. Believe me. No single right soul who should care about that. And people still trying to catch the knife. Um. So yeah, happy days, and I hope you all good. If not, then let me know. Need anything? Otherwise, I'm gonna see you Wednesday. Have a good one. Happy trading, and keep it safe. Later.